The holiday season is here, and maybe it's a good time of year to do a little bit of check-in around the house, a little bit of maintenance here and there, some things that maybe you don't think about, but they could be very critical in keeping your house safe.
Yeah, definitely. We're talking dryers today, specifically preventing dryer fires. We had someone on the show maybe a month ago or so.
I think so, yeah.
Who works with different firefighters and said one of the top causes of home fires is dryers and dryer vents, not getting them cleaned out enough.
Yes.
Who thinks about that? I haven't thought about it.
I haven't thought about it either, which is why we're talking about it today.
That's right.
And we are reminding you to do that, but to tell us a little bit more about what you can do, what you should do, what you shouldn't do, the do's and don'ts around preventing dryer fires. Katie Zarilli from our sister show at Delmarva Life is hanging out with DryTek. Check it out.
Austin Ireland and his crew at DryTek Crawlspace Solutions see quite a few crawl spaces throughout the course of the week. Some need more attention than others, but there's one issue they often come across that can't be ignored.
A lot of times we find when we come to the house, the dryer vent is exhausting under the house into the crawl space. That's a bad idea.
A bad idea and a dangerous one at that. As Austin says, it could easily lead to a fire.
There are up to 15,000 fires that occur in homes every year just from dryer lint combusting. You're talking about a lot of humidity and moisture that's being dumped under the home, plus the lint, all the lint that gets under there, and that lint is lunch for mold. It's gross.
Gross, especially once you find out what makes it up.
Lint is 90% skin flakes and hair follicles. You get your other 10% of cotton, nylons, maybe a tri-blend, but that's pretty gross.
Yeah, clearly not something you want in your crawl space. Fortunately, DryTek's solution is state-of-the-art and stable.
We use special pipe, stove piping. So the dryer vent that we install is going to be the last dryer vent you ever need. We're not going to use that plastic accordion stuff that's going to dry rot and break down in a few years. It'll be a metal pipe that probably outlasts all of us, but the main thing is to get it exhausted to the exterior of the house.
On some occasions, he finds that even if it is venting outside, the material has become compromised and moist air is still leaking under the house. He says often homeowners are aware of issues, but not addressing them.
Usually they say, oh yeah, I know, I've been meaning to address that. But because it's the crawl space and they don't want to go in the crawl space and it's pretty neglected most of the time, they don't do it. So that's why we offer that service.
Basements, he says, are the same story. That air should be draining outside the home. Of course, there'll be a small price tag on this service, but it couldn't be more worth it.
What you get in return, the peace of mind, the safety aspect of having that vented outside the house, not having to worry about a house fire, I think is worth it.
He thinks that because he cares.
I don't want to see people suffer. I don't think anybody does. And a lot of us have pets. We've all got fur babies at home, or we've got fish tanks or something. And I know the data. The data's in on house fires caused by dryer vents. So if anything, if we can prevent your house from burning down or save your little furry loved ones, I'd like to do that.
And of course, once your vent is draining in the right direction, maintenance is still massive.
You should have your dryer vent cleaned at least one time a year. Maybe if it's your second home and it's very lightly used, maybe once every other year. But the important thing is to have that lint cleaned out to prevent that fire hazard. But yes, we'll do that for you.
Just one more avenue through which Austin's keeping you happy at home.
Thanks, Katie, and thanks to our friends at DryTek for always watching out for us in ways that maybe we don't even think about on a day-to-day.
That's why I love this show. I'm always reminded about wills, about cleaning your dryer.
A lot here on Coast Life.
Random things that you need to know about.
That's right. But sort of keeping you in the know, we're going to learn about saving energy this holiday season with DMEC. That is coming up when Coast Life gets back.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by DryTek Environmental.